What person do we think of when we hear the words death, burial, resurrection, and return? I know who I'm thinking of. Tupac. He was and still is one of the greatest rappers today. Tupac was #1 for the most powerful rappers alive. It was in 1996 where the controversy started when you heard the name Tupac. Police, fans, hospital officials, his enemies, and whoever else knew the name Tupac all asked the same question. Is he really dead? Now most of you will say yes, of course he is. The news told us so. Wrong. How can you be so sure? Days before the shooting took place, it was Tupac himself who said in interviews that he wanted out of the gang life and out of the rap industry. The only way out of the gang life is to die or to be killed. And wouldn't a fake death be the perfect way out? On September 7, 1996, a Mike Tyson boxing match took place in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, where Tupac and executive producer Suge Knight were spotted. Tupac, after the event, was shot 12 times from an unidentified shooter in a white Cadillac. Now, I'm no crime scene investigator, but let's get into depth about this. Tupac was shot after a busy event in the middle of Las Vegas Strip, and there was no witnesses or police called. That's a little weird to me. I'm here today to give you stone cold facts and evidence that the greatest rapper alive is still alive and kicking. I'll go over the 7-day theory, medical records, albums released after his death, and an interview with the one man who was with him that night, Suge Knight. So I'll start by introducing you to the 7-day theory. This was a documentary made after Tupac's death over the suspicious nature of his album, The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory. This album was released after he died, which is weird to me. The number 7 was recurring throughout Tupac's career. Now let me throw some math at you. He was shot on the 7th day, but survived in the hospital until the 13th. That's 7 days he survived. Tupac officially died at 4:03 p.m., so 4 plus 3 is 7. Tupac's career lasted 7 years from 1989 to 1996. There are 12 shots fired, but only 5 hit him. 12 minus 5 is 7. Before Tupac's death, his last album, All Eyes on Me, was released February 13th of 96, and he died September 13th, 1996, which is 7 months apart. Tupac died at the age of 25, and 2 plus 5 is 7. Which brings me to another point as to why Tupac is alive. Before he went to jail, he said he would be worse before he went in. While in jail, he read the book The Prince by Machiavelli. When he changed his name to Machiavelli after he got out of prison. Machiavelli was an Italian war strategist and philosopher who wrote about faking his death to fool his enemies. Now let that sink in for a minute. Inside the cover of Tupac's newest album, it reads, "Exit Tupac, enter Machiavelli," as if Tupac has died and Machiavelli born. There is also that statement by Tupac saying, when he came out, it would be like he was reborn. Now, if Tupac was to come out, wherever he is right now, he would be the age of 43. 4 plus 3 is 7. Which brings me to, so if that doesn't convince you, then maybe some medical facts will. For starters, no one saw Tupac die, and there's no pictures of him in the hospital. For as famous as he was, you'd think somebody would snap one photo. The photo of the autopsy that was released was from a woman who got paid $100 grand for sneaking into the morgue and taking a photo of him. Now, the authenticity of it is what I'm questioning due to the fact that he is laying the same way as he is in his California Love video. His neck is turned on the autopsy photo this way, where autopsies are usually straight up and down his head. Another thing that was weird to me, the autopsy photo shows him on his left side. You'll see his cross on his arm from his tattoo, but his other tattoo on his neck is not there. It says Machiavelli. And that is why I think this photo was Photoshopped. Photoshop was invented in 1988, and his crew, Tupac himself, had enough money to pay somebody off to Photoshop his death. So I have another point I'd like to bring up about Tupac. He was cremated only after 1 day of his death. Now, if it was a homicide, it takes a couple weeks for an investigation and an autopsy. Suge Knight states that he paid some guy $3 million to cremate Pac, but after he paid $3 million in cash, he never saw that guy again. So no one really knows if he got cremated or not. The family canceled the funeral services from LA to Atlanta very rapidly, so they didn't even see the viewing of the body. And that brings me to his death certificate. On his death certificate, it states that he weighs 215 and he's 6 foot. But on his driver's license, it says he's 5'10 and he weighs 165 pounds. So that's a little weird. Another fact that I thought was really interesting, if you go online, you can look up your social security number. It'll bring you back to all your family members as well. Well, if you type in Tupac social, it states that it's still active and he's somewhere in Florida. Lastly, he's the only dead man that I know that can produce 9 more albums. Under Tupac's latest CD, he mentions different things that happened throughout the year 1998, like the Broncos winning the Super Bowl, and in another video he had Nike Jordan Airs on, which didn't come out until 2 months after he died. So that's a little weird. So now you know some facts, and I don't think I need to say any more. I'm not asking you to join my Tupac clan or even listen to him. I'm just here to state facts about his death. If we're going by the 7-day theory, I have until January 1st of 2015 for Tupac to come out of his hiding. If not, touche on me. That's it.
Yay!
Peace! Respect. You made me laugh when he was like this.